top 7 problems that lead to dead grass in summer. If you have cool season grasses, you need to maintain them at least 3 inches. When I'm talking height of cut, don't put a measuring stick in your grass. I'm talking actually physically take your mower, put it on the asphalt, and actually measure around your mower and make sure that deck is level. Because you can actually have one wheel actually be at 2 3/4 inches and another wheel be at 3 inches and another wheel, but measure all the way around, even that up, and make sure you're at 3 inches, particularly cool season grasses. Warm season grasses, just about all of them but Bermuda, same rule, 3 inches. Bermuda, you can cut it about to 2 because it's very dense, but the higher you cut all of them, the better you're going to be. Sharpen your blades. If you have a jagged leaf blade, if it's tearing that, your grass is going to lose a significant amount of water. Ask for new blades for Father's Day, or just make it just like you change your batteries when you turn the hours back in your smoke detectors. Father's Day, sharpen your blades. Second problem that people do is they need to decide what they're going to do in the summer as far as watering. You got 2 ways. You're either going to keep it green or you're going to keep it alive. Keeping it green means at least putting 1.5 inches of water, not going out with the hose and going, oh, I'm watering my grass with the little sprayer on the end. Oh, I watered. I see that a ton. That's actually physically going out there, putting a tuna can or putting some type of small container out there and actually watering the grass with a sprinkler and watering it 1.5 inches a week. Actually figuring out how much water you're putting on through a sprinkler system and actually getting 1.5 inches a week when you don't have rain. Okay, you got to also calculate the rain in there. So if you get 1/2 inch of rain, you're going to need 1 inch of water that week to irrigate in July and August. You're either going to do that and pay the water bill, or we're going to keep it alive. How we're going to do that? You're only going to need 1/4 inch of water every 2 weeks. So if you get 1/4 inch of rain in a 2-week period, you're golden. You go like we did last year in the mid-Atlantic, 6, 8, 9 weeks, you barely had, here it was a drought. You guys out west, it's like, that's not a drought. So I get it. But if you guys go more than 2 weeks with no water, you have to put at least 1/4 inch of water. Grass is going to look like hell, but you got to keep that crown alive. So keep it alive, 1/4 inch every 2 weeks, or keep it green, big water bill, proper irrigation calibration. Go over that in the irrigation video. Make sure to set everything up correctly, and now you're good to go. Third problem, fungus. People misdiagnose it. I have a fungal video. Show you how to diagnose it. Show you when to go out in the morning and find out if you have a fungus, if it's a grub issue, dry. Did your neighbor come over at night and sabotage your yard because it looks too doggone nice and he's jealous? Don't know. But I'm at least to show you in that video how to diagnose, how to diagnose if you have a fungus or not and which one it is, using the wrong product. I'm going to go very simply through this. 2 major fungus that attacks your yard. It's dollar spot, pithy. Dollar spot's probably no, it actually is. I used to sell products for a couple years, then got out of it, didn't like selling. But they actually marketed the dollar spot because it was the most prevalent, particularly on golf courses. It is the most prevalent. Then you have Pythium, which is the most destructive. They both, Pythium, dollar spot, look at them. Not a whole lot difference. Dollar spot's a little smaller, okay, like a silver dollar. Pythium's irregularly shaped. I'm going to go out and get the ZZX. That's a great product. It's going to smoke that Pythium, particularly put it out right, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But it doesn't control dollar spot. So thinking, oh, I got my fungicide out. Do you have the right product matching with the right disease that you have? What to do about dollar spot? The Jonathan Green thiophanate methyl or a propicanosol product like this Bio-Advanced product controls dollar spot. Guess what? Doesn't control Pythium. That's why you got to diagnose it correctly. Okay. In addition, let's talk about dollar spot. There's a lot of dollar spot resistance out there. If you have a lot of dollar spot in your yard, some of you do, some of you don't. Please diagnose it before you go out and spend money. But you need to rotate that thiophanate methyl and a propicanosol, like this Bio-Advanced product. Those are probably the 2 cheapest. This is the only thiophanate methyl found on the market that's actually legal for you as a homeowner to put on your yard. The other thiophanate methyls like 33, 36, technically you should be a licensed applicator to put it out. But I've got all these on my Amazon storefront, by the way. I'll leave a link to that down below. These treat dollar spot, do a very good job of it. But you'll need to rotate these so you won't get resistance, because these are two different groups of fungicides. And what will happen is, if you only use one of them, particularly the Biovance product, you'll eventually get dollar spot resistance to propicansol, and then won't do you any good. Now you're down to thiophanate method, and you keep on using it over and over again. Now you got resistance to that. But if you switch them, one time, one application, one the other, you're good to go. Also, how much to put out. If you have active fungus, the Disease EX product, for example, it says it treats 5,000 square feet. The Biovance product, it says it treats 5,000 square feet. If you don't have active disease. If you have active disease, read the label on these. But the Biovance product, I'm going by pure memory here, but I believe I'm right, it says only 14 days of control, and you got to put it out 14 days later. It's not going to give you the 28 like it says on the, like it says on the front. Got to read the fine print. Got to put it out every 14 days. The Disease EX, if you have active pythium or red thread or leaf spot, it's active, it's only going to do 2,500 square feet. You got to double the rate. You have a preventative and curative rate. We'll talk about that. Fungus, we have major on golf courses, particularly bent grass. It gets disease a lot. Anyway, so that's something else people make a mistake about. Okay. Pythium, typically, to let you guys know, you need to start putting that Disease EX out when temperatures, preventatively, if you want to, when temperatures at night get above 65 degrees, that's when Pythium starts rearing its ugly head. When I see temperatures in 70 degrees on golf course greens, I knew if I didn't have my Pythium control out, I got a problem next day. Anyway, go over that in my fungal video. You want to know more about that. Grub control and surface feeding insects. Here's a big one. Go over that in my grub control video. People go out a little too early, particularly with an imidacloprid product. Imidacloprid only gets you, if you put it out in early May, probably will get you till about, luckily, mid-August. Grubs feed, as I said in my grub video, they feed until October. You can get smoked late August and September during that second. Okay, talk about in my grub video, the cycle of grubs, they feed into October. The chlorotranilipole product, particularly if you put it out in late May, should be good to go. Be safe, by the way, BEE safe. Don't have a signal word on it like the imidacloprid product. Those are pretty much the two preventatives you got. There's a lot of products. Talk about in my grub video that have a grub on the product that do not treat grubs. Those are pretty much the only two that really do. With the exception of this Biovance product, that is a knockdown. If you went with an imidacloprid product, particularly, okay, let me back up. If you guys are after July 15th, particularly if you've not used an imidacloprid product or tranilipole product, if you have not put that out, you will need the Biovance 24-hour. You'll have to knock those things down, or they will keep feeding, particularly the imidacloprid product. It needs to get in that plant, and if it's dry, that plant is not working, not going to take it up. Eventually will, but it'll take longer, and those grubs will just keep on going, and you'll keep on losing grass. You got to knock it out that 24-hour after July 15th. So that's grub control. The other thing is with surface feeding insects. Bermuda grass mites was a big problem last year. You really need to go out. I will leave a link to the university, I believe it is Missouri, down below, that shows you surface feeding insects and how to find which ones they are. They give you pictures of them, you can find them. They tell you the type of patterns that the grass has when you do have a surface feeding insect. So that way you know if it's a fungus, if it's maybe it's grub issue, or maybe it is a surface feeding insect, or maybe your significant other left a black piece of plastic on the yard for maybe 45 minutes in the hot sun and now it's scorched. No between those four. Also, something else you can do for at least a little bit of diagnostic tool. Take a gallon of water, put in about a ballpark of an ounce of Dawn dishwashing soap, pour it in that yard, see what, or in that part of the yard on the edge of where it's feeding, and see what comes up. So you put that mixture of water and soap in your yard, irritates the insect. Also do with grubs. Grubs sometimes come to the surface. Be patient enough. Give it a few minutes. Come to the surface, you can look at, identify. I will leave products on my Amazon storefront that you can use in order to kill surface feeding insects. I'll show you which one kills surface feeding insects versus which ones kill grubs. You can check that out there. Comparative shop. I don't care where you buy it, just so you get the right thing. Applying herbicide. Quinaclorac. Look for that on a lot of the products that you have for weed control, particularly summer weed control. It is a very good product. Problem is, it doesn't do a thing on crabgrass from July 1st to August 15th. It will not control middle-aged crabgrass. You'll see a lot of comments on Lowe's.com or online or everything else talking about how great this product was, particularly the Spectricide weed stop product. This thing will kill just about all the weeds in your yard. You can't use it on centipede or St. Augustine, but all the other grasses, you can use it. All the other species, you can use it. Good product. Problem is, after July 1st, won't touch crabgrass at all, but it will after August 15th. So do be aware of that. Make sure your product works and it doesn't have quinaclorac for grassy weed control during the summer. Also, cool season grass, folks. If you're going out with a herbicide in late August, be sure you are aware that if you put something out and you're going to seed maybe 2-3 weeks later, that is safe to put out and then seed within that time frame. A lot of folks go out with a herbicide and then they turn around, whack the weeds, and try to get seeding in right after they put this out, maybe 3 weeks, and realize it's not coming out. I've actually known people that have actually put out a pre-emergent herbicide and then seeded into it in September, and nothing happened, and their yard really looked like crap clearing the next spring. Aerification. People don't aerify their yard. You really want to do this a couple weeks before you get the onslaught of stress, drought, heat, whatever. That will significantly facilitate water movement into your soil, allow for water exchange, air exchange. Plant can transpire a little bit better. It will significantly increase the rooting of it because it will work its way into that tilth area like you're seeing here where the water's penetrating down, and that will significantly increase your efficiency of your watering and the rain that falls. You can also put out a wetting agent. Be doing an update to my wetting agent video. Here's my old one. Putting out a wetting agent and aerification significantly increases your irrigation for those years that are going to irrigate going into summer. That's one thing that people do not do. You can go out, you can rent one of these things for less than $100, and it'll take you about 2 hours to do your yard. And that is the best money you can spend. For 2 hours, you can significantly increase the quality of your yard in the summer by aerifying. Check out my aerification video, show you how easy it is to do it. And that's it. Those are the top 7 things that people do to their yard or don't do to their yard or do incorrectly that lead into losing grass during the summer. Anyway, I'm agronomist Greg Phillips telling you it's not that complicated.